James and Marina had been in a relationship since they were teenagers. They had their ups and downs, filled with drama that entertained their friends like a television series. However, as time went on, the friends lost interest in their tumultuous romance. When James decided to pursue a technical college degree, the couple broke up for good. They did not see each other for 7 years, but Marina continued to follow James through social networks. Fate brought them back together when they happened to cross paths at a club while celebrating graduation at the age of 22. They quickly rekindled their romance, eventually marrying and starting a family. Their past problems began to seem like a distant memory as they built a strong and loving family. James supported Marina's decision to stay at home when their daughter turned 3, and she happily accepted her role as wife and mother. Their quiet life took an unexpected turn when Marina met William, a man who intrigued her during a chance encounter in a coffee shop. They began spending time together, and a bond developed between them that would change everything. One day, William asked Marina out on a date to a restaurant. Marina hesitated and spent several days thinking about what to do so as not to arouse her husband's suspicions. She finally came up with a plan and faked a phone call from a friend who was going through a difficult breakup and desperately needed Marina's support. Her husband believed the story. After dinner, William suggested a ride around the city at night. When they stopped at the waterfront, Marina could no longer control her emotions and kissed William, which led to more intimate moments in the car. Thus, Marina began to lead a double life. During the day, she played the role of a devoted mother and wife, and in her stolen moments with William, she became a passionate lover. She believed that everything was going according to plan, that having 2 men in her life made her feel happy and fulfilled. She did not know that her idealized perception of reality would soon collapse. Marina did not immediately notice the delay in her menstrual cycle. Eventually, after being intimate with her husband, he noticed that her breasts had gotten bigger. Marina at first brushed it off, assuming that he dreamed everything. However, this news did not go out of her head and did not give her peace all night. The next morning, she hurried to the pharmacy and made a pregnancy test, which confirmed her fears with 2 clear stripes. Fear gripped Marina. Her heart ached, and she did not know what to do next. After learning of her pregnancy, Marina began to ruin her relationship with William. She often borrowed money from him, often delaying the return. Marina desperately hoped that James would be the father of her future child. After careful deliberation, Marina devised a plan and decided to make the only right decision: to end her affair with William and inform her husband of the pregnancy. However, she expected a response, fearing that William would demand the return of the borrowed money. When she finally met him, her worst fears came true. He became furious at the mere mention that she wanted to end their relationship and demanded that she pay him back. "Oh, it is so," he whispered threateningly. "Either you pay me to keep quiet or your husband will find out about us." He spun the cell phone in front of his mistress's face. "There's plenty of evidence against you, darling, just so you know." She felt trapped. She didn't want James to find out about her affair. When Marina broke the news of her second pregnancy, her husband had been beyond delighted. He had long dreamed of having a child, but he knew Marina wasn't ready. He was grateful that fate had decided everything for them. They shared this joy together. All the remaining 6 months of her pregnancy, Marina transferred money to William from her personal savings. Their financial safety cushion was rapidly depleting, and Marina was panicked about what they would do when the money ran out. James noticed his wife's anxiety, but wrote it off as her pregnancy. He tried to shoulder all the burdens and responsibilities, doing his best to ease her burden. In late August, before the start of the school year for their oldest daughter, James went with Marina to the maternity ward. A few hours later, Marina texted him with the happy news. He was now a father of 2. James had to close his office and enjoy this happy moment. However, James' happiness was short-lived. On the 3rd day of Marina's absence from home, William showed up at his workplace. The security guard informed James that someone was waiting for him on the 1st floor. James was stunned to see a complete stranger in the hallway. William suggested finding a private place to talk away from prying ears. He explained everything, showing James candid photos of Marina in bed with William and turning on a videotape of their intimate correspondence. James couldn't believe his eyes. William was smirking cheekily. Unable to contain his anger, James threw him a fierce punch that sent him flying back against the wall. A scuffle ensued, but it was quickly stopped by a guard. Marina returned to her waiting, sullen husband. David began to doubt that the baby was really his son. He looked at the baby and saw the resemblance to William. At this point, she realized what her former lover had done, but she didn't know how to tell her husband, or if it was even worth discussing. Both of them were going through their own pain. Unable to live in uncertainty, James decided to take a DNA test. He made it clear to Marina that the fate of their marriage depended on the results of that test. He was not going to raise someone else's child and did not hide his feelings. Unfortunately, the test did not confirm David's paternity, which led to their divorce. Despite this, James continued to support his ex-wife, spending time with their daughter and giving Marina a much-needed break. William no longer contacted Marina, and she was relieved. He had stopped manipulating her for money. She still couldn't understand how she hadn't recognized his true nature, but she knew there was no turning back. Now she had to learn how to move on, weighed down by the hard experience that had ruined her life because of one embarrassing mistake.